Hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to talk about making inferences. I discussed it a little bit yesterday, but I'm going to get more in depth right now. So, when you make an inference, and it's when an author is trying to have you figure something out, but they might not be telling you it explicitly. For instance, an inference is something that a reader figures out about a story that the author doesn't tell. Readers make inferences when they use their background knowledge or schema and text clues together to better understand the story. So that's the anchor chart that we have for making inferences. So if an author writes a fictional book about a lion, you might already figure out that the lion might roar in the story because you know that because you have some schema about lions. I'm going to practice making a few inferences right now. So here's a picture of a woman doing something, and I know that everybody knows what this is, especially at this time of the year when everybody has allergies. So she's doing something very specific that I'm sure everyone has done a million times before. So where it says make an inference, I think or infer. Now, if you're someone who's doing this action, which is blowing their nose, well, I know when I blow my nose, I'm either having allergies or I'm sick. So I can infer that this woman is probably not feeling well. I know that, which is what the next part says. It says, because I know that because that's how I feel when I'm blowing my nose. I'm either have a stuffy nose or I've just sneezed. And then I could draw a picture of our experience, but we're not going to do that because I'm just showing you. So you can just take this photograph and have no sentences to go along with it, and you have a pretty good idea because you're using your schema or what you already know to tell, like, this woman mustn't be feeling well because she's blowing her nose. Sometimes they don't give you a picture, such as in this case, and I'm going to give you some clues and we think of if we can figure it out. It says, I can be white or brown, I can be hard on the outside, I can crack, you can buy me at the store, I can be cooked, and I'm good for breakfast. Well, and I'm not sure if once you figured out what it was, but I think everybody knows that I infer that it's an egg. How do I know that? Because you can buy eggs at the store, and that was one of the clues. They're hard on the outside, and you can cook them. I've had eggs many, many, many times and bought eggs many, many times, so I could figure that out because I had some schema or some background knowledge about what eggs are. And then this is a illustration, and this is another type of example. It says snapshot inference. So it almost looks like a photograph if you took with the Polaroid camera. And it says, Kamal arrived and couldn't decide what he wanted to do first. The slides, the Ferris wheel, the fun house. So he got some cotton candy while he was making up his mind. So you can think about all of those things that I just mentioned. And here's Kamal again. It doesn't show him doing anything other than me eating the cotton candy. And my clues in the context or the story here was that he didn't know which activity to do first. Should he go on the slide, the Ferris wheel, or the fun house? It says, where is he? Well, I think myself that he's probably not at just the playground, because when you hear the word slide, because you have a lot of experience on playgrounds, you could think, well, maybe he's going to the playground because the playground has slides. But then they continue on by saying Ferris wheel and funhouse, and I know that those types of places are either at fairs sometimes or definitely at an amusement park. I worked at Cannibal Lake when I was younger, and so they had both of those rides. And they had cotton candy there, which was the last clue. So I'm going to guess that Kamal's at a amusement park. But it doesn't say that. But I gave you some schema of mine about what I know about amusement parks because I worked at Cannibal Lake. And they had those rides and cotton candy. So my guess is that's where he's at. What was your guess? And then the last thing we're going to talk about is I have this chart. And it says Inferencegram, kind of like Instagram, and it's all photographs. Can you see those? So if I was trying to figure out what I should buy this person for a gift, because sometimes you have to buy gifts, and especially me as an adult, I have to buy gifts a lot of times. And sometimes I have to figure out, well, what will the person like? So if I went onto this person's Instagram, or in this case, it's called an inference-gram. There's all sorts of things that this person likes. Well, they like to eat some snacks, it looks like. They like to read. The person's reading a book here. There's more books here. They have another book here with a Starbucks. They're outside here walking. There's more Starbucks here. Another book down here, more coffee here, and more snacks. So if I had to get a gift for this person, I might think, well, a gift certificate to Starbucks might be a good idea because there's Starbucks cups in a couple of those pictures. Or maybe I would get them a new book, or like a gift card to a bookstore because this person clearly likes to read books as well. And I didn't have any other words or sentences to go on. I just had to use the person's photographs and to make a best guess. So that's what you do when you make inferences. You take what you already know, your background knowledge or your schema about something, and use that to figure out what a character might do, what might be happening in the story, or what could happen based on your background knowledge. And that's how to make inferences.